Today, we are going to explain how iPhone 7 display circuit works. The screen of a phone is the most important part that displays information the phone needs to convey to the user. The display functionality of iPhone 7 screen is fulfilled by LCD and backlight. So the display circuit is composed of LCD circuit and backlight driving circuit. Malfunction of the display circuit can cause flickering screen, no display, no backlight, abnormal display, and some other issues. First, let's take a look at main components on the display circuit. U0700, also known as CPU, functions mainly in three aspects. First, it is responsible for overall control of the display circuit via I2C bus. Second, it transmits image info to the LCD screen via MIPI bus. Third, it adjusts brightness of the backlight via DWI bus. U1801, Power Management Unite. It provides display enable signal and power supply for the display circuit. U3703, Display Boost IC. It provides two rails of working voltage for the LCD screen. U3701, Backlight Driving IC. It provides power supply to drive backlight into the glowing process. J4502, LCD Digitizer Connector. It connects the screen with display circuit on the board. Now let's find out how iPhone 7 display circuit really works. When the phone is turning on, by means of I2C bus, CPU gets backlight driving IC U3701 and display boost IC U3703 into power on self-test process. If the 2X fail in the process, the phone will be stuck on Apple logo and fail to get access to the system, with the phone being turned on normally. If CPU wants to awake the screen, PMU will send an awake signal to the screen first. With the awake signal received, the screen sends a power supply enable signal to U3703 and PMU, so as to inform the system that screen of the phone has been installed, and the system can provide power supply to the display circuit to get it prepared to work. The power supply enable signal is the enable signal for the whole display circuit. Therefore, if screen of the phone hasn't been installed properly, the whole display circuit will not get to work. Once the power supply enable signal has been received by U3703, PMU will send an activation signal to CPU and U3703, so as to inform the system that the display circuit can be activated. First, CPU will send drivers and control info to U3703 via I2C bus, with the main power supply, activation signal, power supply enable signal and control info being provided. By means of its inner circuit, U3703 will then form a boost circuit with L3704, C3715, and C3716. The positive 5.7 volts voltage generated by the boost circuit afterwards is outputted to LCD accompanied with one rail of negative 5.7 volts voltage. The two rails of working voltage, together with one rail of 1.8 volts voltage provided by the system to LCD, form the working voltage required for normal working of LCD. Next, CPU sends a reset signal to LCD, accompanied with drivers and control info via I2C bus, and reads the device info of the screen. By now, LCD has been full armed and is well prepared for work. Next, CPU sends image info to LCD via the MIPI bus. The MIPI bus consists of two sets of data and one set of clock. Malfunction of any of these traces can result in abnormal LCD display of the phone. Also, display parts and touch parts of the screen should work synchronously. When the display screen is working, it changes working state, on and off, according to the control information of I2C bus. Then, with a synchronization signal, the display screen informs CPU and touch circuit of its current working state. With the information received, The touch circuit will then keep itself in the same working state, on or off, with the display screen. If the railware synchronous signal locates fails, the display circuit and the touch circuit will not work synchronously. Also, please be noted that LCD of the phone doesn't glow. Only when the LCD is illuminated by the backlight can users see what the LCD screen is displaying clearly. Therefore, a backlight circuit is required to drive the backlight, so that it can function as a light provider. We will explain the backlight circuit detailedly in our next course. Now let's move to diagnosis and maintenance of iPhone 7 display circuit. First, replace the screen, power on and test. Confirm whether the abnormal display is caused by screen fault. If the phone turns on normally with display issue, then the fault is related to the display circuit. Continue to run cosmetic inspection of the logic board, and check whether display circuit relevant area is normal. If nothing goes wrong, we can start the maintenance work from two aspects. 1. Run diode mode measurement of pin 24, pin 26, pin 30, pin 32, pin 36 and pin 38 of J4502. If the measured value of one specific pin is abnormal, run diode mode measurement of the specific end of the corresponding parallel inductors that is connected to CPU. If the measured value is normal, replace corresponding parallel inductors of the pin. If the measured value is abnormal, then the fault is caused by malfunction of CPU or open circuited condition of relevant circuits. 2. Run diode mode measurement of pin 1, pin 5, pin 7, and pin 33 of J4502. If the measured value of one specific pin is abnormal, then check relevant circuit of the pin. If the measured value is normal, get the display assembly installed, power on and test. Run voltage measurement of test points listed below. C3933 5.7 volts. FL3908 5.7 volts. C3934 1.8 volts. If there is abnormal voltage measured, then replace U3703. If the measured voltage of these test points is normal, continue to measure whether there is 1.8 volts voltage on R3901, so as to confirm whether the reset signal is normal. If there is no 1.8 volts voltage measured on R3901, check the circuit from FL3915 to CPU. If there is 1.8 volts voltage measured on R3901, then we can just replace J4502. Common fault components of the display circuit. Damage of J4502 can result in no display, no backlight, and abnormal display of the phone. Damage of U3703 can result in no display, stuck on Apple logo, and abnormal display of the phone. Damage of L3901, L3903, or L3902 can result in no display of the phone. And this is our detailed explanation of how iPhone 7 display circuit works. Feel free to visit our official website www.driwatechnology.com. See you next course.